This is the news in brief from the United Nations. An urgent international response is needed to prevent the crisis in Myanmar from becoming a catastrophe in the heart of Southeast Asia and beyond, UN Secretary-General Antonio Guterres has warned. In a report to the UN General Assembly on Wednesday, the UN chief also said he feared that the military's grip on power would become increasingly difficult to counter. Myanmar has been in political crisis since a military coup on the 1st of February. It is urgent to mount a unified international and regional response to help put Myanmar back on the path to democratic reform, Mr Guterres said in the report, which called for the immediate release of President Win Myint, State Councillor Aung San Suu Kyi and other government officials detained after the military takeover. It also called for immediate humanitarian access and assistance, especially to vulnerable communities, among them the Rohingya Muslims. The window to prevent the military from entrenching its rule could be narrowing, Mr Guterres continued, before insisting that it was important to support the democratic aspirations of the people of Myanmar. The text was approved by 119 countries, with 36, including China, abstaining and 1, Belarus, voting against. Vulnerable Haitian men, women and children on the move in the Americas should not be expelled from countries where they have found shelter, UN agencies said in a protection appeal on Thursday. In a joint appeal by UN Migration Agency IOM, the Refugee Agency UNHCR, Children's Fund UNICEF and Human Rights Office OHCHR, they highlighted that many Haitians in the past decade have faced a series of natural catastrophes, acute food insecurity and gang violence. The situation inside Haiti is bound to worsen because of last month's earthquake, making the island unfit for them to return, they added. Their warning comes amid the reported expulsion of thousands of Haitians from a makeshift camp on the US border with Mexico. Those who have left the Caribbean island include unaccompanied and separated children, victims of trafficking and survivors of gender-based violence. Some may need international refugee protection, while others may have different protection needs, the UN agency said, before insisting that international law prohibits collective expulsions and requires that each case be examined individually. Only 15 African countries, nearly a third of the continent's 54 nations, have now fully vaccinated 10% of their people against COVID-19. That compares with almost 90% of high-income countries, the World Health Organization said on Thursday. Seychelles and Mauritius have fully vaccinated more than 60% of their populations, followed by Morocco at 48% and Tunisia, Comoros and Cape Verde at around 20%. Most of the African countries that met the 10% goal have relatively small populations, and 40% are small island developing states. All of these countries were able to source coronavirus jabs while also receiving doses from the UN-partnered COVAX platform for equitable access to vaccines, WHO said. It noted that half of the 52 African countries that have received COVID-19 vaccines have fully vaccinated just 2% or less of their populations. Katie Dartford, UN News.